Hello, my dear students. This is Dr. Dimenjani, and today I'm going to discuss macroeconomics. SY becomes SEM 3 VNSGU English Medium syllabus in force 2017-18, chapter number 1, Nature and Function of Money and its Significance in Modern Economy. To be precisely, I'm going to cover the topic meaning of money, definition of money, and important difference between money and near money, which is very important as far as examinations is concerned. So stay with me until the completion of the video. So first point we are going to discuss, that is the definition of money. Money is any object that is generally accepted as a payment for goods and services and repayment of debts in a given country or a socio-economic context. You can say money is any term or verifiable record that is generally acceptable as a payment for the goods and services and repayments of the debts, such as the taxes in a particular country. As per definition of Merriam-Webster, something generally accepted as a medium of exchange, measure of value, or a means of payment. But all these definitions are not considered as a much comprehensive until the Professor Crowther gave the definition of money. What he says is money is considered better as it takes into account of all the important functions of the money. He defines money as anything that is generally acceptable as a means of exchange, that is, as a means of setting off debts, and at the same time acts as a measure and store of a value, that is a medium of exchange. So money is such a thing that anything can be exchanged against the money. If I want to purchase 100 kg wheat, 100 kg rice, or maybe 5 kg groundnut oil, so whatever things I want to purchase, I can purchase with the help of this money. Second point is a unit of account. So each and every transactions are measured in terms of money. So if I want to purchase a mobile, I need to understand the cost of the money, cost of the mobile. So cost of the mobile is measured in terms of money, say 20,000, 30,000, 40,000. If I want to purchase a plot of land, the price of plot of land is also expressed in terms of money. That is, you can say 25 lakhs, 30 lakhs, 1 crore, 2 crore, etc. So money serves as a function of unit of account. Third point is store of a value. If I'm having 50,000 rupees in my bank account, that indicates that I have purchasing power of 50,000. If I'm having 500 rupees in my wallet, I can say that I am carrying the purchasing power, or you can say store of value, store of money value of 500 rupees, and I can utilize at any point of time. Next one is occasionally a standard of deferred payment. It indicates that even future transactions are also carried out and they are also expressed in terms of money. Let's say, for example, if there's a birthday party in my family and I want to purchase a cake, so I had given a cake order of costing 1,000 rupees. So after 3 days, when I'm going to purchase the cake, I have to pay 1,000 rupees and the other person will give me the cake which I have ordered earlier. So that 1,000 rupees is the price of cake, 1,000 rupees, it is expressed in terms of money. So money is also a standard of deferred payment. Moving on the next point, that is the money and near money. Now let us understand the basic difference between money and near money. We all know what is money. We have seen these four different types of functions, that is the medium of exchange, unit of account, store of value, and standard of deferred payment. We discussed this definition money very well. Now I'm going to discuss the difference between money and near money. So you can easily see over here what is difference between money and near money. Suppose I'm thirsty, so I want to drink a water, so this would be money for me. That means I can directly utilize this glass of water in order to satisfy my need. But can I use directly this thing, that is the ice cube? Can I use this ice cube to satisfy my need? No, I cannot use this thing. So what I have to do is I have to wait for some time, and then afterwards I can say I have to convert this ice cube into water, and then afterwards I can drink it. So this is the same difference in money and near money. Money is a such thing that you can directly utilize in order to carry out any transactions, while near money is a such amount of money which you cannot directly utilize first you have to convert those near money into money, and then afterwards you can utilize it. So let us understand the difference in very detail. First point is, as I discussed, money can be directly used for any transactions. Okay, and near money cannot be used directly for any transaction. So you have to convert near money into money, and then afterwards you can utilize it. Second point is, money is generally acceptable at all stage across the country. For example, if I say rupees, so Indian rupees is acceptable across the length and breadth of the country. No one can reject that this amount he will not accept until and unless that note is counterfeit. Second point, if you observe, near money is not generally acceptable everywhere. I'll explain what are the types of near money. I'll explain in upcoming points. Third point is, money itself is a medium of exchange. So as we discuss in primary definition, that money can be used in order to make transaction, in order to make exchange of any goods and services. Let's say, for example, if I want to purchase 200 kg of rice, so I can pay 5,000 or 10,000 rupees, whatever the price of 200 kg rice or wheat, and then afterwards I can purchase those things. So that 10,000 or 7,000 rupees is, you can say, medium of exchange by which I am exchanging, I'm purchasing goods of 200 kg wheat or rice, and against that I am paying 5,000 or 10,000 rupees amount of money. So that amount is 10,000 or 7,000 amount is working as a medium of exchange. Near money has to be first converted into money, and then it can be used as a medium of exchange. So as we discussed earlier, so near money has to first to be converted into money, and then afterwards we can utilize. Next point, it includes currency notes, coins, demand deposits of the bank, while near money includes bonds, stock, mutual funds, savings in post office, etc. Or you can say saving in any form. It can be savings in gold, savings in silver, savings in share market, savings in mutual funds, savings in post office, savings in NSC, KVP, any medium of in any form of investment. So wherever you have invested any amount, that is known as the near money. Okay, so we cannot directly make a transaction of mutual fund in against buying of a wheat or rice. First we have to convert the mutual fund units into the cash, and then afterwards we can purchase the goods and services what we want. Next point is, money is 100% liquid. Money is cent percent liquid. That is, at any point of time across the length and breadth of the country, if you want to make any transactions in money, no matter whatever it is, a daytime or night time, you can utilize those amount of money. Second point is, near money is not 100% liquid. Yes, that is the 100% true. First we have to convert that near money into money, and then afterwards we can utilize it. Next point is, having cash on money hands earns no income. So if we have money on our hands, we don't earn any income. Okay, because in simple sense, if I want to explain, I can say, if there is 25,000 rupees on my hand, in my at my home, so if I don't utilize that 25,000 rupees and it is just sitting idle in my house, at my house, so it will not earn any single penny of interest, or it will not earn any income. But the same 25,000 rupees is invested into bank FD or share market or in mutual fund, there are likely chance that it will earn the money. So there are possibilities of income earning. Next point is, it works as a measure of unit, and in near money it does not work as a measure of unit. So I can express the price of goods and services in terms of money. Let's say, for example, a book. Cost of book is 120 rupees. Cost of laptop is suppose 28,000 rupees. So that expression is in terms of money. While I cannot express the same thing in terms of the near money. I cannot say that this laptop is one laptop is equal to 500 books, or this one particular mobile is equal to 212 laptops. No, that comparison cannot be made over here. So that's a primary difference and major difference between money and near money. You have to be very careful while dealing with these things, because it is going to be asked in examinations and it is frequently asked. Like this video, press the like button and subscribe to this channel for upcoming updates. Thank you.